One of the powers that government did usurp over the past several years is the right to decide what medicine you take in the form of COVID mandates. How did you feel about that? And how many COVID shots did you take? And how do you feel about it now, in retrospect?
How many COVID shots did you take?
0. But I think it's fair, and I could see that you recoiled when I asked you that question. And I don't think, honestly, you should be asking people about their medical care, but that became a matter of public policy. And I do think that the whole country ought to pause and assess, like, what did we just go through? How do we feel about it now? And so it's a very straightforward question.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Tucker Carlson, who is basically driving the direction of the Republican primary because he's hosting a town hall in Iowa featuring the GOP presidential candidates. And boy, oh boy, I got to tell you, sparks flew in this town hall forum as he pressed a lot of these GOP candidates on some tough issues that it's really going to define who is America first and who's not America first, okay? A vast majority of conservatives in the base are America first, and especially when it comes to our foreign policy, okay? And Tucker is doing a great job of exposing the neocons from the true conservatives or the true America first conservatives, and he did not disappoint, okay? Like, for example, him basically proposing that instead of sending troops to Ukraine, we actually send them to the border to protect our own country during his discussion with Tim Scott.
May I ask, and thank you for saying that about the 100,000 Americans, mostly young people, mostly not in the cities, dying every year. So that's hundreds of thousands just in the last several years. Why? And you said we should build the wall that was started and then dismantled. Why not build a human wall with, say, the reservists who were called up to go defend Ukraine? Why wouldn't they be defending our border?
Totally agree with you. Yeah.
Well, but there's no effort. I mean, the Pentagon has said, the last president kind of suggested that, didn't do anything about it, but he suggested it. And I think most people thought, well, that's not a crazy idea. And the Pentagon said, like, no, we're not going to do that, as if it's their call. Why would you fund the Pentagon if they are refusing to defend the United States?
Well,
yeah, I think Tucker kind of got a point, right? Like, if they're unwilling to go to the border and defend this country from the current invasion that is happening, okay, that is killing thousands of Americans, okay, in the form of fentanyl, okay, and drug overdoses, what's the point, right? I mean, he has a point, okay? He makes me think, like, wow, that's actually a very, very, very interesting proposal. He makes some good points. That's actually a pretty good argument. You know, maybe we should be using our troops to defend this country at our own border. We have no problem sending our troops to go defend somebody else's border, but not ours. But where the sparks really flew, okay, during this town hall, okay, is the exchange between Tucker and Mike Pence, in which Mike Pence, who is a proponent of defending other people's borders, okay, he's a neocon conservative through and through, especially when it comes to the issue of Ukraine. He's going to say the quiet part out loud about what a lot of these American last politicians actually believe, and it should be no surprise that this is coming out of the mouth of Judas himself, as he's going to admit out loud in front of an audience full of conservatives that his primary concern, or his concern, is not the American people or America's cities over Ukraine. He's more concerned about Ukraine than America. He's actually going to say this out loud at this town hall. Take a look.
We're saying maybe January we'll let somebody transfer some jets.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President, have you, I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars don't have enough tanks. Right. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern. I'm running for president of the United States because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. I think Joe Biden has weakened America at home and abroad. And as President of the United States, we're going to restore law and order in our cities. We're going to secure our border. We're going to get this economy moving again. And we're going to make sure that we have men and women on our courts at every level that will stand for the right to life and defend all the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution. Anybody that says that we can't be the leader of the free world and solve our problems at home has a pretty small view of the greatest nation on earth. We can do both. And as President of the United States, we will secure our border, we will support our military, we will revive our economy and stand by our values, and we will also lead the world for freedom under my administration.
Wow. I mean, I had to clean my ears out multiple times to make sure I heard what I thought I just heard come out of Mike Pence's mouth. I mean, Judas's mouth. I'm calling him Judas, all right? Judas, because he's actually really Judas. He's betraying America, okay? I mean, like, this guy, Judas, literally said on stage that, hey, it's not my concern that America's cities are becoming shitholes, right? That they have been plunged into chaos. I'm not concerned about America. I'm not concerned about the American people. I'm not concerned about any of that stuff that Tucker Carlson laid out in regards to the issues that we're having here in our own country that we should be spending our money on and resources on to fix. No, I ain't concerned about that, right? Not my concern. That's what Mike Pence said. I'm more concerned about sending tanks to Ukraine, okay? I'm more concerned about another country. I mean, this is it. I'm speechless. But I'm glad he said it. You know why I'm glad he said it? Because this is what a lot of these clowns believe. This is what they believe. They won't say it out loud, but this is what they believe. They don't give a damn about the American people. They don't give a damn about how you're living. They don't give a damn about whether or not you're safe. They don't give a damn about protecting our borders. And I'm talking about Republicans too, because this guy's a Republican. And he just told you exactly what he believes. He's more concerned about other folks, right? He's more concerned about Ukraine, Zelensky, and also the military-industrial complex, okay? Because they line the pockets of these politicians. A lot of these people are not in Congress. They're not politicians because they actually care about you. They don't give a damn about you. They give a damn about them and their pockets and getting rich. And Mike Pence is one of these guys. He just told you. Because there's no other reason for this guy to care about another country over our country except for, again, if it benefits him. And most certainly, you best believe it does. Because those are the people that are donating to this man's campaign. Okay? Corporate interests. The military-industrial complex. Damn sure ain't the American people. Nobody likes him. He's polling at the bottom, okay? So who's donating to him? Who's funding Mike Pence? It's corporate interests. The same corporate interests that want to have that war in Ukraine. They don't want the war to come to an end. So again, you got the politicians because they're prostitutes. They line up and they do whatever the corporate interests ask them to do. Even if it includes selling out the American people, sending billions and trillions of dollars overseas for other people's benefit when we got problems here. Regime change war after regime change war after regime change war. We haven't learned our lesson yet. We didn't learn our lesson in Afghanistan. We didn't learn our lesson in Iraq. And I guarantee you, shit ain't going to work out the way they think it's going to work out in Ukraine. And then after that, we still not going to learn our lesson. It'll be on to the next war because you got I gotta chill because you got politicians, sellouts like Mike Pence. Okay, thank God he's not in office anymore. Thank God Trump threw that man under the bus because he just told you exactly who he is. He is not for you. He is not for the American people. He is not America first. He is Ukraine first. He should go run for president over there. Go run for president. Oh, I forgot. Right. You might not be able to because, you know, it's not like they're really friendly of other political parties over there, right? In Ukraine. Who knows? Okay. You might get shut down. You might get censored. I don't know. Okay. But I'm just saying. This guy is saying out loud exactly what a lot of these people think, including people in the Republican Party. I'm telling you, they don't care about you. They don't care about us. Damn America. Everybody else is more important. Everybody else's borders are more important. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Again, they don't even want to put up a wall on the border. They don't want to do it. But as soon as these people feel like they're endangered, first thing they do, what do? They put up a wall, right? Joe Biden put up a wall around his house in Delaware or something like that. They put up a wall around the Capitol in D.C. after January 6th. As soon as these people are in danger, they put up a wall. But can't put up a wall at the border, right? Can send troops overseas to other countries to defend their border, but can't send troops to our border to defend our border. Can't do it. This is what frustrates me about politics. You know, like, look, for the most part, I think voting for Republicans over Democrats is generally better, right? Generally speaking. But these guys are far from perfect, right? These guys leave a whole lot to be desired, right? They really do, because they're just as corrupt as the Democrats. They're basically the same team, right? When it comes to a lot of issues, they're basically on the same damn team, right? You're voting for the same people, okay? Voting for Pence ain't really that much different than voting for, I don't know, whoever, right, is on the Democrat team, okay? Because they're all for the same thing, especially when it comes to foreign policy. None of them are really interested in defending our border, right? I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Republicans aren't interested in defending our border. Why? Because of corporate interests. Cheap labor, right? Corporations got to have cheap labor. So again, Republicans can grandstand on the border all they want, but when they had the opportunity to do something about it under Trump, they refused to actually help Trump with funding the border wall, right? They had the House, they had the Senate. They was like, I don't know, right? Not sure if we want to, actually do this. So Trump has to go out of his way to try to get funding for the border wall in ways that he really shouldn't have to do as an executive, but he had to do it because Congress, his own fellow Republicans, wouldn't cooperate with him. Because again, they've sold out. They want illegal immigration. And then they'll go down to the border and they'll grandstand and they'll do a bunch of photo ops and pretend like they care when they really don't, right? They won't do anything to advance any legislation that actually will protect the border because they sold out. That's the truth. And again, Mike Pence, he just had a moment where he's literally telling you exactly what he thinks. I think that he instinctively said that because he knows off the top of his head that's not my concern. But when he goes back and he watches that clip again, he's gonna wish he didn't say that. Right? He just destroyed his own career. He just ruined his whole career. Okay? He just ruined his whole career. But again, he said that because that's instinctively what he was thinking. He was combative with Tucker Carlson doing the whole interview, right? Because he doesn't like Tucker. He doesn't like populist types, right? He don't like us, okay? He's establishment neocon, and he's a traitor. He's Judas, right? That's exactly who he is. Let me end this video. I'm about to lose my mind, okay? I can't stand these clowns, bro. I'm so serious right now. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.